Two Brothers 2 is the continuing story of Sam and Luke and their two younger brothers, Tommy and Joseph. 5,000 days in the making. Watch Sam, Luke, Tommy, and Joseph negotiate the journey of adolescence and the road to young adulthood. While they don't have it all, they do have each other. And this is their story. When we first met Sam and Luke and two brothers, they didn't exactly get along.
He solves things by hurting me.
I'm not sad about anything. Turn the camera off.
I just want to see how our relationship would have changed in 10 years.
So Sam, what are your chances going into the election? Explain the process.
Not great. I ran against a kid named Daniel Lynn, who's really funny, really great, magnetic personality. He was the president of a lot of clubs. They had the primaries, and I was still down below that kid.
Just like his presidential campaign, like he had he's like troubleshooting what people were gonna say.
We were driving home from school that day, and we drive by the Old Country Buffet, and we see this guy in a bee costume just dancing in front of the Old Country Buffet, and I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna go in there and see if I can borrow that for you to dance in front of the school for my election. Looks like, Sam, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
And then his presidential campaign, we hit it off.
What did Luke do?
And he went and danced to Dancing Queen and This Is Why I'm Hot and some other songs, and a whole bunch of people gathered around. Luke really helped. He was like key. I won 60-40, so.
Sam's told me what he went through his entire adolescence up to the middle of last year.
Mm-hmm. I think it started in 7th grade, and it seemed like it got progressively worse, sort of.
Did you know that he felt depressed almost every day?
No, I didn't. Never, would I guess.
You know, I started getting really, really sad.
I knew he wasn't the happiest kid in the world, but I didn't think that it was that bad at all.
I think I just felt, kind of lonely, and I went to a psychologist 1 or 2 times. And I talked to him about it, and he said that it sounded like a chemical thing. I went on sort of a reading binge. I read all kinds of books. I read Napoleon Hill's books, and I listened to this Tony Robbins series, which I'm kind of embarrassed about, but it actually really did make a difference. But yeah, I took medication sophomore year for my ADD, and it helped a little bit.
But in the end, you said you didn't like the way it made you feel?
Well, no, I didn't like the way it made me feel, and I felt like I wanted to own it, and I felt like it was the medicine was the reason that I was doing well. It came to a point, if I stayed where I was, where I'd be in 5 years, and where I'd be in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, and it was scary.
Like he tried to put on a false image that he was, just fine.
And the coolest part about it is it took 5 minutes to make that decision. I mean, I could have years. It was years of being depressed. It took 5 minutes of a real decision.
Did you know that was going on?
I feel like, with my depression, I feel like that was probably at the point in my life when I changed, that was my greatest weakness of anything. And to, in one day, change that to my greatest strength and keep that my greatest strength for 2 years now, it gives me a lot of confidence. And if I can change my greatest weakness in a day, what else can I do? And I think since then, it's been since then that me and Luke haven't fought for like over a year.
I just started talking to my brother, and people are nicer than you think they are.
So you think the turnaround with Luke has to do with the turnaround with you?
Yeah.
I don't know, I kind of realized that I've got this cool older brother, and I think I realized my little brother's all right.
Do you talk to him about everything, basically?
Yeah. And girls, and everything. It's like some people have a journal. I have an older brother.
But it wasn't always that way.
No.
I kind of look out to him. He's kind of like my role model, because I'm like, in some situation, I'm like, what would Sam say right now? I'd say without a doubt, he's my best friend.
Me and Luke are best friends.
So Walk-On Day is next week, and it's your last chance to fulfill your dream to play BYU football. How do you feel?
Kind of surreal that it's finally here, or that it's coming up. Yeah. I've been thinking about it for so long.
So I read it, and it's like, Dear Elder Nelson.
You are hereby called to labor in the Chile Conception Mission. Good in Chile.
Then we go, hello.
Hello! A street camera captures one of the largest earthquakes in a century to hit Chile.
And then it came out that the epicenter was right near Concepcion, which is right where Sam was. Then all of a sudden, kind of my heart sunk.